Today we will talk about changing destiny. How do we change our destiny? We need to change our mind. We will use the three natures of the Yogacara school of Buddhism to transform our lives. According to this conscious-only school of Buddhism, everything is created by our mind alone. Therefore, everything belongs to one of the three natures. Number one, fully conceptualized nature. It is the imaginary nature that is constructed of subject and object discrimination. Our thinking is imaginary. It's concepts that is constructed of the self, the subject, and others. We always thinking in terms of the self, which is the ego, the seven consciousness. Because of our delusion, we have a lot of discrimination, thinking in terms of duality based on the I. So we have gain or loss, good or bad, right or wrong. It's all fabricated concepts. We usually tell a funny story about a mother and her two sons. One night she went into the older son's room and saw the older son was holding a book and sleeping. Then she went to the younger son's room and also saw the younger son was holding a book sleeping. When the father came home, he asked, "How are the boys doing with their studying today?" Because the mother disliked the older son, she said, "Oh, the older son is so lazy. He is always falling asleep while studying." The mother loves the younger son, so she said, "Oh, he's so studious and so good. He's trying to study even when he falls asleep." So even though she saw the same situation, but because of her different interpretations, she will have different point of view and she will have different karmic retribution because of this. This is our discrimination and our attachment. Because of this, we continue to reincarnate. Number two, other dependent nature. The flow of phenomena that arise from causes and conditions. Other dependent is everything that we see as appearances. They are dependent on causes and conditions. This is what we see in the world. Your family, your career, your body, your country, everything is appearances. That's basically our karma. It is from the wholesome and unwholesome karmic seeds in our alaya consciousness that manifest into appearances. They are like a mirage. We don't understand that it's unreal and we become attached to them and start having delusions. That is our problem. Our karma doesn't have problem in itself. Doesn't think it's good or bad or gain or loss. It's all from our own concept and our thinking. We need to recognize that our life right now is the other dependent nature. There was a girl born in 1960. Her name is Tian Ming. Her father's first wife died young, so a year later, her father married the younger sister of the deceased wife, and she gave birth to this little girl, Tian Ming. This girl is actually the reincarnation of the deceased wife. When she was 2 years old, she was able to recall her previous life as the wife. And her strong affection to her previous husband remains. Whenever the parents sat together, she will show her jealousy by wedging herself in between them. So in the Shagama Sutra, it says, "You love my heart, I endeavor your beauty for this cause and conditions. Through hundreds of thousands of kalpas, we are entangled together. Lifetime after lifetime, because of this karmic attraction, we are reincarnating with the same group of people all the time." When you really understand the other dependent nature, you will know that life is just a process of karma showing up. Don't have any delusion about it. Stay calm. Know that everything will pass. Treasure everyone in our life. But no matter it's good or bad relationship, we want to turn all relationship into dharmic relationship where everybody will become enlightened, where everybody will be out of the reincarnation. That's our goal for this life. So see the other dependent nature without having fully conceptualized nature. Number 3, fully accomplished nature. So if you don't have delusions of the fully conceptualized nature, you will naturally have the fully accomplished nature, which is the consummated nature that is perfect and complete. The true nature of things, or we call it suchness, our Buddha nature. When you don't have any delusions, then the other dependent nature itself is actually returned to its true nature, which is emptiness. There is nothing that really exists. All substance are void. There is nothing to attain, nothing to gain. When you are still in your mind, you have no more dualism, have no more concept of the self, and you will see the world in a whole different light. If we can see the other dependent nature have no real objective qualification of their own, that's enlightenment. The fully accomplished nature. This is the treasure of our mind. This is the hidden bomb that's in our mind. In order to change our destiny, we need to minimize our discrimination, our labeling of the world from the self-interest point of view, but see the world from the point of view of the fully accomplished nature, which is emptiness. How exactly do we do this? There's actually meditations and ways that we can approach. There are 2 kinds of meditation. First one is meditation of everything as merely mind and consciousness. This is contemplating or meditating on the first 2 nature, the fully conceptualized nature and the other dependent nature. Basically, you see that you shouldn't have any delusions about the other dependent nature because everything is created from the mind. The mind is impermanent. We have thoughts arising. The previous thought fades away, the next thought will follow right behind it. It's always rising and ceasing, birth and death of our mind. This process cannot even be halted for a moment. So how can we trust on this conditioned experience? So see the emptiness, keep contemplating on it, you will reach the samadhi of stillness of form. You will see all phenomena, all appearances, all forms as emptiness. Then your mind will be still. Originally, all phenomena are in motion, characterized by form and attributes, but now they are still and unmoving. Number 2 is the contemplation of suchness. This is directly contemplating on the fully accomplished nature. If you have very good roots, you can go directly to the fully accomplished nature and be away from all duality, knowing that there's no reproduction or extinction. The Buddha nature is never rising or ceasing. It is what it is. If you can really see that, you will not be attached to any of the sensory awareness such as sight or sound. You will cut off all idle thinking and forever extinguish discursive thoughts. That's when we reach the samadhi of stillness of the mind. Now your mind is always at peace in stillness. You actually know everything. So this is how we practice. Meditate on this. That's how we change our destiny. So in order to change our destiny, we need to change our mind. Change our mind from the fully conceptualized nature to the fully accomplished nature by contemplation of everything as merely mind consciousness and reach the samadhi of stillness of form, or directly contemplate on the suchness and reach the samadhi of stillness of the mind. That's how we transform from a mundane to a saint. So that's a class for today. Thank you for listening. Amitabha.